3. Nobody's watching, but that was a fun little reference. So why would you not? Oh, that is backing off. And home. What's everybody up to? It's Wednesday. We're hanging out. Gonna mess around for a little bit. Got some projects. Got a few unboxings to do later. And here we are. Here we are. Where is my light? What's up, Marco? How's it going? Forgot to turn a light on as per the usual. Because why would I? Or why would I not? Or why would I? What would I? Who would I? How would I? What's up, Marco? What's up, Aaron? Regulars? What did you guys get into today? Anything exciting? I need to fix this a little bit. It says go live. I said yes. I should have rearranged a little first. But that's fine. Because it's very informal. Relaxed. What's the deal? What's everybody up to? Did you guys see the video from today? Dueling Lagos. What do we think about the swap? The good old swapsies. I'm happy. Ultimately, I made a couple different knives. Do you have the CJRB Lago? Right there. Couple of them, Big T. Just did that swap today. So this one actually had a silver pivot and a silver blade, and it was the brown handle, and I did the dye on that and made it purple. And then I recently just got this red one, and the red one had the black pivot and the black blade. So what we did is we took the pivot and the blade off. I put the silver blade and the silver pivot on with the red, which I am loving the way this looks. That silver along with the black liners all the way around, the black and the red looks sweet together, and then a nice pop and silver blade. And then now the purple one, it's got that black pivot that goes kind of like, now the pivot kind of matches like the screws, and the blade kind of mimics the pocket clip. What do we think about the finished? Dude, I love a Lago. If you haven't tried out a Lago, you've had CJRBs, you like button locks. It's a little bit bigger than the Pyrite, but it is a fantastic one. Man, it is warm. My midday is going good so far, James. How about you? I gotta turn my heat down though. It's cold. I live in Minnesota, and at work it's a little bit chilly in there, and so I have my long sleeve shirt on all day. And right now it's about 12 degrees outside. So it was a little chilly driving home. I got to start putting gloves on. Riz face. Just got to pause at the right time. It's in there somewhere, right? When you say silver, it's stainless steel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like a brushed, or it's not even, it's kind of a polished stainless. Slightly brushed, but it's pretty much smooth. Got to go to court next week, says James. I guess there's a couple ways about that. Going to court for something that you're dealing with, that's not fun. I had to go to court. I was on jury duty one time. Anybody ever get called for jury duty? That was some real stuff. I was not excited. Got to go in several days, and they go and they interview you, and you're like, all right, am I going to get picked? I'm not really sure. And then, what about this one? I should have showed up for jury duty carrying this, and they would have been like, no. But lot of interviews for the old jury duty. And then what happens is you either make it or you don't. And I passed with flying colors. Next thing you know, I was on the jury for this case. Day one, they started the case. They start kind of explaining things. It was a robbery. So the guy took the purse and then ran. And basically, he got out of the line of sight of the people, and then he ditched the bag. So they found him like a mile away with no bag and didn't have anything on him. And they were saying it was him. And so the case was basically trying to decide, well, was it him? Did he ditch it? Or is this a falsely accused person? Wasn't excited about it. You go to lunch, you start talking to people on the jury a little, and then you go and day two and start listening to some more of the case, and then all of a sudden you're into it. And it was like, well, I guess I have to be here. And it became like my own little Law and Order episode that I was a part of. And so and then all of a sudden you're invested. And it's like I went to bed, got up, and I was like, ooh, I get to go to my Law and Order case for the day. And so all of a sudden it turned into like, oh, this isn't actually so bad. And then literally as soon as it turns to not being so bad, the next day we went, we go for the first few hours and they break for lunch. And then we come back from lunch and they're like, all right, you're all free to go. We're like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, the case has been settled. I'm like, okay, well, what happened? And they're like, well, that's not of your concern. It's like, I've been invested in this for 2 weeks. I've been coming here every day. And now you're telling me, oh, well, it's been settled. Well, you can't even tell me what happened. You can't even tell me. They wouldn't even tell us what happened with the case. It just all of a sudden it was over. You didn't get to watch the end of the episode. You have no idea how it ended up. And then it was done. But that was my my jury duty experience. I have a few Damascus. Here's some cheap Damascus. This is a camel bone brass and a real budget Damascus lockback, which I plan to do some scrimshot of the bone on there at some point in time. I thought I had another cheapo Damascus. Here's a very inexpensive Damascus. This is a cut yourself if you want to give a knife to someone and have them cut themselves when they open it. This one right here, but this is another example of a cheap Damascus. This knife is cool though, check it out. So it swings out like that. You have to be very careful not to be along here because that's where that blade, as soon as you start swinging it around, the blade comes shooting through. Someone will cut themselves on a weird thing like that. Better Damascus. I have quite a bit from Civivi. This is the Civivi bull tusk with Ultim and that Damascus right there. Nice looking kind of pattern on that bull tusk. Really fun, bigger knife. Laid Off Pete says, Hulk smash that like button. What's going on, Pete? What's up, Marky? Waylon? Allie? Underground Adventures. How's everybody doing today? Keith Straight. Can't do any giveaways right now. I just celebrated my 7,000 subscribers on the channel, and I gave away 7 knives for that. And only a couple of them were donated, so I had to pay for all that myself. Most of the stuff from the channel comes out of pockets, so it's not easy for me to just give away stuff all the time. Most of what you see here was purchased by me. I do custom stuff. I sell customs. People send me things to do customs. People send me cool stuff to just check out. Like Mikey Trails sent me his really cool gravity knives. This is a CPM 3V with a Zircotai inlay, double edge, drop shut. This one's in L-Max. It's the larger version. XO. So I got some people who send me some stuff for reviews. Kaiser does send me a few things. Lucky for me. This is the new Kaiser Hawk. Listen to this. Drop shut, flicks out. Just an awesome, awesome knife. Splitting Slices, what's going on? Hope life is grand after 7K. It's getting better every day, bro. Every day. What's up, Mick? Hey, hey. And all my knife buds, what's going on? What's everybody carrying today? I had to carry my new Lago. CGRB Lago is an underrated, amazing knife. It's a larger knife. The handle feels great. Good choke up spot. It's a no fail. Like, the button just works. The flipper tab works really good. It failed. Thumbs out most of the time. Flicks out like a dream. I love this knife. What's up, Fred? Fred, I've noticed on my tracking, it's like, yeah, it's in Minneapolis. You'll get it one of these days, kind of a thing. Looks very similar to the Hawk, you know? Now that you mention it, there are some similarities in that blade right there. Huh. Man, I didn't actually notice that. No knives from Alaska. Are there any Alaskan-based companies? I would be interested in checking it out. Do I have one where you press the button and it comes up? Well, those aren't banned or USA banned. Maybe they're not allowed in certain places. But you're talking like an out the front kind of a knife. This is the Boker USB. Comes right out the end. So button actuated. These are not legal everywhere, yes. But most often, a lot of places, they're not legal to carry, but they're legal to possess. You can actually order one and have it. I can't speak for every space. I don't know the laws in every state, every country, things like that. But in Minnesota, I can possess one. Commented last time, you remember me, Lindsay. It sounds familiar. I think I get a lot of people in the chat, and I try to answer as many people as I can. And sometimes when they're popping through fast, if you show up a couple more times, I can guarantee, though. Lindsay Bate? Is that right? Beatty? I'd say Bate. I could be totally wrong. Can I show you a butterfly knife? I can. And I do have some news regarding that. People have been inquiring about butterfly knives. It's not really my style as much. I don't have. This is the only one I have. It is an actual blade. It is actually sharp. So when I go swinging this willy-nilly around, that is a sharp edge, sharp point, serrated. This is a cheapo. This is old. I've had it for a while, but I'm not going to really do much. I don't know many tricks. As you will see, I just ordered a trainer, so I'll be getting that soon. I got a Squid Industries. Had to pay for it myself, which is fine. But I did order that, so I'm going to be able to start practicing with that, learning some new different tricks that I don't know. But with something like this, where it is actually sharp and I'm not skilled, I'm not going to really do too much with it. A lot of people have been asking about it, so I figured, Fred, it says it was delivered. Well, then it should be outside. I'll have to go out there and check. Do I have a Karambit? Well, that's good news, Fred. I'll run out there in a second. This is a Karambit. I cut myself on this one time, swinging it around. It is sharp on both sides, and there's serrate. Nasty serrate on the one edge. This thing is gnarly. I mean, it's real stuff. Not something I carry, but I have a couple of them. Here's another little Karambit. This one's cool because it's just a solid single piece of steel. It reminds me of a raptor claw from like a Jurassic Park or something. Just a simple paracord wrap. Jesus. This one's not double-edged, but it's kind of a nice little one. I would consider having this one in a secondary spot when I'm camping. I used to use this one all the time. This Tucson. Got some wear and some use. I go morel hunting in the spring, and this is a good one for that. Not very, it's a little beat up. Not too crazy of a knife, but it gets the job done. Ron, my day's going all right. It's been work is work. It's good and bad. Today it was kind of slow, kind of drug along. My tooth kind of hurts. I think I'm going to have to go to the dentist, which sucks, but whatever. How about a Bowie knife, says Oscar. There's a Bowie knife for you. Got that Crown Stag handle of beastly proportions. 10 3/4 inch blade of raw cutting power. Do a video about all the Counter-Strike knives from the game. I don't know. I'd have to go get myself a list. Kenman, where are the dots on the Buck 110? My dad's old Buck 110 does not have any dots. It just says Buck 110 USA. Okay, so what you have to do, Joe, is go to the Buck website. Go to just the main Buck, and then type in date codes or whatever. And so, like the two dots, like mine, what he's talking about is on all Buck knives, it will have a stamp. And so if you see this, it says Buck 110, then there's two dots and it says USA. That exact stamp means 1974 to 1979. So if yours doesn't have the dots, that's a different date. So that, I don't know exactly what they are, but no dots, but says 110 only. And you go, basically when you go to the Buck website and you type in date codes, the page will come up and it'll show you everything from the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the 2000s, all the way up till current. On all the newer ones, like this 119, you can see right next to the 119, it's got that kind of sideways Z, almost check mark. I'm sorry this is backwards. I'm trying to figure out how to reverse it, and it's been pissing me off. But yeah, that little 119 and then the hashtag next to it, that means this is like 2022 or 2023. So long story short, any Buck knife that you get, you open it up, you look at the handle or the blade right on that spot, and then you can then look on the website and it'll tell you exactly what year it's from. Got to go feed the kids. They eat. They probably have to be fed every day, right? Fred says knife company in Alaska is Semper Sharp. They have beautiful stuff. A lot of it's custom and expensive. I'm going to write that down. Someone else also recommended Puma. Anybody ever hear of Puma? I think they're out of Germany. I looked them up, and most of their knives are like $300, $400, $500, like very expensive. They look really cool. I'm going to write that down. Semper Sharp. Alaska. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy any of them, but I will definitely check them out. I'm always up. I love this type of interaction where we get to see things that I haven't heard of. I can look at different companies, kind of check out their website, see what they're about. I'm into it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you, Kathleen. Or hi, Kathleen. How are you? I haven't seen you in here, but she's doing work for me. Oh, you know when the coffee's at the right temp? Ooh, this is my early post-work, early evening coffee. And I made it right before I started. Now it's at that exact temp. Hi, I'm new here. Do you suffer from acid reflux? Ooh. Heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach. Ooh. What's up, Robo Steve? Robo, how are you doing tonight? Who was I know Robo was there. You guys watched some of the disc golf putting league last night. I did not do well last night. I mean, I got second out of the 5 of us on our card, but I missed some really weak stuff. And then Ken Fixed was in. Maybe it was Ken Fixed's fault. he was in there, and he knows everyone who I disc golf with. He's part of that crowd, so he knows everyone there, and so he was throwing bets out, saying like, oh, if someone can make everything for the next hole, he was going to give a knife away on my next live. Of course, none of us were able to execute at the right time. That's just how it works. Kathleen, do I know anything about Crucible closing? Okay, I've watched and kind of saw a few things about that today. Apparently, Crucible has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They've done it before, like about 8 years ago or something like that. They've been struggling. Knife company steel is a small time kind of a business, and so it doesn't bring in enough for them. I know they do a lot of stuff for some other products as well, but apparently they've been struggling for quite a while. They do MagnaCut and 3V, S30, a few different steels that basically now what is happening is they're trying to sell. I don't think they're going to be able to recover and just continue on as they've done, or they make improvements and continue on. I think they're actually going to sell, and hopefully the purchaser will want to continue on, but then will the steels be of the same quality? That's kind of the extent of where I'm at now. I just found out about it this morning, like many of us have. And so we'll see what happens in the future. If other prices are going to go up, things are going to change. What's going on, Clint? Colt Crow, I do not have a bug out. I have a tagged out. The thing I have against, well, first of all, butterfly tax is too high. I think they overcharge for what you're actually getting. I do have the Benchmade tagged out. So the tagged out is a larger version of the bug out, more of a hunter style version. It still has that ultra light handle. I really like the shape of the handle, and the shape and design and the feel. The action of this is nice, except for I don't like when I go to grab it here to close it. I really have to be deliberate to get a hold of it. It's so light that it just wants to fly away. I prefer a beefy, stocky, heavy, dense. I would rather have something that weighs 6, versus something that weighs 2.5. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I should put some titanium scales on this, but the bug out is smaller, so it's even lighter yet. And why would I get a bug out when I have every bug out killer on the planet? We've got the Lander 2. Fantastic bug out killer right there. We have the classic Pyrite. Well, I don't know where my classic Pyrite is. Oh, it's over there. Classic Pyrite, another bug out killer. What's up from Albania? All right, find my items. The Tempest Microjet is definitely a bug out killer. I love this knife. KC from the Knives Fast channel, 154 cm in titanium with the micro milling on there. Boom. Take that over a bug out any day of the week. Where are my other bug out killers? Here's a new one from CJRB, the Acacia. For $30, you can buy this knife with AR RPM 9, a really nice crossbar lock. Flicks out, the action is nice, the choke up spot feels really good, and $30. You could buy 5 or 6 of these for that bug out, and that bug out is not that much better. Rant over. But yeah, there's just so many other great knives out there, and the bug out is made to be light. I don't like light knives, so it's not personally for me. Bowler Steel's more. Says Leafy. I ordered 3. That sounds like a fun order, LL or Detero. Isn't it fun ordering knives? I love it. My chat froze, of course. It's moving here. It's moving on my phone. Robo, you got the package today? How did that... It shipped it, everything was all good. I mean, basically that mask was kind of pushed in there and everything's kind of tucked behind it. Did you find everything all right? And Robo, I sent you a pin. If I sent you a pin, there is a blue film over the front of the pin. Peel the blue film off, and it will look much better. I had them lying around here somewhere. I don't know where they went. Here's one. This is what I'm talking about, these pins that I did with the KDK on it. But there is a blue film on the front of there. It actually looks all right as is, but if you peel that blue film off, it will be fantastic. Where's the bug out fixed blade? There is no bug out fixed blade, Ken. The bug out killer fixed blade. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. This bad boy, the Kaiser Milita fixed blade. This is a choice. What's going on, Ken Fixed? Yeah, I basically had the mask wedged in there. I was trying to find a box that would fit or whatever, and all the boxes were really big. And the thing is with those masks is they will, you can, if it bent it in tight like this, you can bend it out. They're thin, they're cheap. You can kind of bend those around. I've taken some and I hit them with a heat gun and actually changed the shape of them to make them look more like bent or something. Like if you put a cut in it, you can make it kind of feel like it's splitting apart a little bit more, things like that. Hopefully it all showed up all right though. Do I have a Boker? So we can be twinsies, exactly, Robo. I have a few Bokers. I showed the one already. This is the Boker USB. It looks like a little USB stick, but it's got a little magic surprise inside. I have the Boker Kalashnikov, which also has a side surprise. Hopacha. Button actuated. The Boker Kalashnikov is actually a great out the side or side auto for about 50 bucks. This is actually the lefty version. It's about the same price. The Milita is awesome, Ken. So awesome. All the Militas at Kaiser right now. You've got the Milita, the mini Milita. These knives are probably some of my favorite. They got a holiday one with trolls on the side, little gnomes. Very cool if you like those holiday themes. But Militas, fantastic stuff. And that fixed blade Milita. Oh. S35 VN and then the camo carbon inserts. They are going to be adding new inserts that you'll be able to buy from Kaiser pretty soon, so you can get custom ones and change them out. But yeah, that fixed blade Milita is great. I love the extra jimps up on that edge right up there. Getting in there for doing some work. It is just sweet. The beef from Flytanium? No. I've looked at Flytanium. I kind of wanted to get that arcade for a while, but I never did. Beef? It's called the beef. Literally the beef. Well, Mick, I will look that up. What's up, Rolf? How are you doing? So Mick says that he's loving the blade shape of the new Flytanium beef. Who else knows about this beef? Have you got beef? Where's the beef? Remember that? Anybody remember that? I might get a copper Flytanium for your Delica. That sounds cool, Leafy. Flytanium's got some cool stuff. Are they one of the ones, or is it the GOAT that has the scales for the tagged out? I also need to get some titanium scales for my 80/20+. I should just buy, that's what I need to do. I'll leave this AUS 10 or whatever, is that what this one is, or AUS 8? AUS 10 budget Demco 80/20.5, and I'll just get I should buy the premium one with the titanium, the larger pivot, and then a better blade steel with the shark foot blade shape. That's what I need to do. But I don't have like the $300-400 it's going to cost to get it. So well, I do, but I'm not going to invest the $300 to $400 to get it. But the 80-20.5 is a fantastic knife. Demko and the Shark Lock. It's fidgety, clickety, clackety. Whoops. Fun. Shark Lock. This is the Shark Lock, so it's on the back. And it's ambidextrous. You can pull it down and swing the blade out, swing it closed, or you can thumb stud it or finger flick it out. But that back lock, so you can use it equally as well on the left or the right hand. Another company that did the same thing, which I cannot find, there it is the Civivi Vision FG. It's got the super lock. So same kind of thing on the back right there. You can push that down, open and close. Works just as well, wow, with the left or the right. But the Shark Locks and the Super Locks, there's a couple other ones. That Flightanium Arcade has that on there, but I think that Arcade actually has a Shark Lock on it. But the Vision FG is really cool. I did the dye on that. This one was white, so I had to make it red. Looks way better red. Fred's been looking on the hunt for a Demko 80-22. Special knife, very few made. Anyone getting rid of one, let Fred know. Interesting. And the original, what's the original? The 80-10 or 50, or, you know, the one that the 20.5 was kind of modeled after, but it's bigger. I'd love to get one of those, but I think the titanium, if you could even find one, the big titanium version I would get is like somewhere around 600, something like that. 80-20. Recently got a SOG Kiku XR. Broken down 3 deer so far, and it's working good, still sharp. Nice, Tom. Nice. That's something too. If you're getting it to actually do some processing, and then you do it, and it's holding the edge or whatever, that's a proven quality. Very nice. Some people were asking about stuff for breaking deer down. So what type of a blade shape is on that? I'm curious, Tom. Because we've talked about it. What's up, Beecher? And, you know, we have talked about something with a big belly like this. This is the Urban Bowie from Kaiser. Would be one that you could get in there and make these nice slicey cuts. Someone said, oh, it's a little bit too short. But I mean, a lot of people used to just process with like the old school buck, right? So I think you can do it with just about anything, really. I mean, if you're good. But what's the one... What's the shape, the style that would work best for you, Tom? Modified Tonto. Not the greatest, but still works. Well, if it works, and if you're enjoying it, I guess that's what matters, right? They have a crazy full custom Demko on sale at Knife Center, but it's $3,500. Could you imagine if you were in that? For those that are, congratulations, good work. But to be in that position where you could just go and just, oh, I'm just going to buy a $3,500 knife for my collection. It's like, oh, some people's cars cost less than that. These days, I don't know, these days, even bad cars are starting to be worth $5,000 anymore, right? Brian, his question, is there a site where you can buy, sell, trade knives with other people that you know and recommend? Brian, it's called Blade Binge. Blade Binge. They sell new knives there as well, but they have a full used section, so you can buy used from person to person. You can make offers. You can sell your own knives on there. And Blade Binge offers a full protection. So, you know, you got to pay a few bucks for the sale transaction or whatever, but they offer that protection so that, like, if there is some type of issue or whatever and you made your purchase, it's protected and it's kind of covered. So you don't have to deal with like someone who's just posting up a photo of a knife they don't have, taking your money and running. You won't have to deal with stuff like that at Blade Binge. And they've got a good variety of stuff. A lot of people use it. Check it out. Thank you for subscribing, Casey. I was at Makers and someone pulled out a Shark Knife Co. special, 20,000. Said it's his daily carry. Whew. Could you imagine? I mean, there's rich people that have jewelry, you know, they're carrying rings or a necklace or something that's very expensive and it doesn't really do anything. At least the knife in your pocket, you would actually be able to cut something if you wanted. But whew, whew. I appreciate that, Brian. But yeah, if you haven't been to Blade Bench, seriously, that's a pretty great spot for used. I've bought some things off of eBay, but you know, eBay, there is a certain protection there as well. But eBay sometimes, you know, I've had a few people where they kind of burn you. Where's the one I bought? They strategically did the photos. I was looking for some buck knives, right? And so they had one photo of it like this. You're like, okay, that looks cool. Then they had one photo like this, right? They had one like this. You know, they had one kind of with both blades out, I think like that. Then they had one with this closed, kind of close up on there, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. And so I ordered it. You know, it was only 16 bucks. So, you know, it's a used, inexpensive, but they never had a photo of that. They always was the other side, and somehow they were managed to like take a photo of the buck part so you can see there's the right there, that stamp right there. It says buck 289 and then the little half moon with the dot, so that gives you the date. I think that one's like 2015 or something like that. But they never had a photo lined up showing that someone used a grinder and just grinded the hell out of the side of this. And so I got kind of burned because I got it and I'm like, what is that? I didn't notice. I went back and looked at all the photos, couldn't see that anywhere. So they hid that from me and I still ended up buying it. So you never know for sure. If I'm spending $3,500, I'm getting a katana. Yeah, might as well get a real katana. You can get a nice real katana for way less than that. I mean, you get a terrible katana for like 30 bucks, but you can get a nice one for $500, $600, $700 handmade. 3,500 would give you an incredible katana, though, I would imagine, or one that's got some story to it, which it also would be cool. I have a feel like something in me I kind of want to look for more used. Like I bought this buck knife used because there's story to it. You know, this was made between 1974 and 1979. You know, well, the tip maybe broke off just a little bit or they've sharpened it away. There's like a little notch right there where they bumped or something. Every one of those is a story. It got dropped or they were using it. Oh, something got stuck and we were using it to do this and we went like that and that's how that net got there. So in a way, some of those older knives that have some character and stuff, they have stories to tell, and I think that's cool. Sometimes you don't know the stories, but then you can make them up, right? What's up, Dan Stan? eBay protection sometimes won't cover knives. I've heard some people say they've been burned in eBay. Knives not covered. Blade Bench is better. Yeah, Blade Bench definitely covers it, but I can say that I have bought a few knives from eBay that weren't bad. So, but if the less protection, the more you have to kind of be careful, pick your orders, look for sellers that have a good reputation, have sold things in the past with positive feedback. Just got a sweet bayonet from Austria. That sounds very cool, Paul. Do you know how, is it like old or just old? Or is it old? Bayonets are interesting, long, probably. Mick's got an awesome old school handmade knife with a staghorn handle. I've got a brand new staghorn handle. Not as awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool. Base model kind of steel, but It is cool looking, and it's a big old buoy. It's going to get me interested in buying more of them, checking more of them out. I have been on eBay looking at those specifically. Older ones that might have some weather to them with those cool stories that might come into play. Your mom got it for you like 30 years ago. Very cool. That's something you keep forever. Authentic to period. A terrible shaped katana with a real maker signature can be as low as 3,000. Right. So yeah, Ken's talking hundreds of years old, which would be very cool. Oh, Robo. When do I what? When do I eat, Kenman? Work or live? Or live or wait? What? I eat all the time. I work, basically it's a 9 to 5-er kind of a job. It's more like 8 to 4, and 7:45 to 4, whatever. I eat lunch around noon. I had a snack at like 10 this morning. I had another snack at like 3. I'm kind of hungry now. It's getting to be season for some hot soup, some pho. Anybody ever eat that? Big old bowl with a lot of meat in there. Ugh. I like noodles. I like pasta. I like animals. I like eating animals. They're delicious. I eat nightmares. $2.50 for it back in the day, Mick. Wow, Mick, I want to see pics now. Mick, you got to send me a photo on Instagram or send me a link or something. I definitely want to see photos of that. That sounds really cool. Do I work out? No, not really. I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm good. Fairly healthy. Fairly. I still eat a lot. I did for a while, kind of had a little going on here. I stopped drinking Mountain Dew. I used to drink like 7 or 8 Mountain Dews a day for like 15 years. You don't actually have to drink water. You can drink Mountain Dew and you'll be fine. And people will say, no, that's not possible. And I can say, I literally did it. Literally did it. Now that you mentioned it, I've never seen KDK eat food. I'm a vampire. Accidentally swiped up and a headed tattoo guy doing pull-ups. Yeah, Michael, you got to be careful on the swipe ups. You never know what you're going to fall into. Although more often than not, you will know what you're falling into, and it usually ends up being boring. Or it's amazing how sometimes people are live and they're not doing anything. They're not talking. You know, I'm not trying to put anybody down on what they do, but I've seen lives where it's like they sit there and they're not talking, and then they're like, oh, da da da, and then they're looking at something on their phone. It's like, are we? Hello? Is this thing on? You know, kind of a deal. What's up, Anton? I've seen videos of knives that can cut steel nails. Is this really true? I don't. I know I haven't really seen any cut nails, but there are some steels out there. There is a steel out there from that is on a couple of Spydercos right now, where you can see a video of Neves from Neve Knives. He takes this is a plastic bottle, but he takes a glass bottle, and then he takes the knife, and then he goes like this on the glass bottle around. You can hear it just going, and he's like cutting the bottle and breaks that top off. So there are some steels out there that are very strong. A lot of different steels out there though. Some of them are strong, some of them are anti-corrosive, some of them sharp and easy, some of them hold that edge for a lot longer. I am in Minnesota. The knife also has a handmade leather sheath. Mick, I need to see pics of this thing. You're making it sound cooler and cooler by the second. Saturday, you're going to make sausages. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Smoked meats. Ken Fix used to do some, he has a smoker, and he did some long, slow smokes on some big slabs, you know, like my brain just shut off. You know what I'm talking about. Where he like slow cooks it for like 10 hours and we sit there and wait, and then oof, absolutely delicious. Mick says he's going to send some pics. Grizzly blades. That does sound familiar. Grizzly. Another one I got to write down and do some research on. Grizzly blades. Where are they out of? Do you know? Anybody in the chat know anything about grizzly blades? I appreciate it. I will check it out. Right, I wouldn't use a knife on a nail either, because it's going to really mess up your edge, even if it's strong. But it's kind of more of the, like, if you had one to field test, it's like, all right, I got 5 of them. This one's going to be my user. This one I'm going to beat until it's completely toast. And then that's when you would do that test. Cold smoke. That sounds good too. We make most of our venison into breakfast sausage for sure, Beecher. If you want to send any of that my way, let me know. Anybody who's got, you know, got extra venison, you got extra, you know, send it. Grizzlies or slip joints. I'm interested. I check it out. Amsler tools. And hide your wallet. Dude, all the ones I've been writing down lately are hide your wallet kind of things. As I was saying, that Puma, I saw a couple Puma knives that were really cool, but it was like $400. Kenman, come visit. I live 10 minutes from Holt Blade Works. Okay. Let's plan that out. Let's try to plan that out. I try to find a time to come down there. How long does it take you to get up to the cities? A few hours? And Iowa has extra deer. Is Iowa still out? I saw Iowa locked himself in his shack or whatever for a few days to do some hunting. What's up, Arizona? But I haven't seen any other videos. I just saw he posted a couple photos. Pocket razor magnet cut sticks. Ooh. Party at Titanium's house. 4.5 hours. Pick up Robo on the way. Here's the link. Grizzly Blades. I will check them out. Okay, so Iowa's going to be still hunting until Monday. So he's gone. He went for like a week, huh? Wow. Eastern Iowa. Basically neighbors. Laid Off Pizza in Madison, Wisconsin. He's fairly close. There's a couple guys up in Minnesota too. Who's up in Duluth? I don't remember. Is that Dan Stan maybe? Dan, aren't you in here? Thought I saw you. I can forget some things easily and kind of blur them together, but I'm pretty sure he's up in Duluth or somebody's up there. We should meet up, flip some knives. I'll bring some weirdos. Anybody, so I decided to fall into the butterfly balisong world, and I ordered myself a Squid Industries. It's not here yet. It's been shipped, but it won't be here for probably 4 or 5 more days. But here we are. It's about to begin. I have all my fingers. I got a trainer, so it won't cut me. Where did I put that Spyderco? I did find this though. Check this bad boy out. Full lefty. What is the name of this thing? Griffin X. This one was sent to me by Lanyard Man for review to check out. This is a sweet. You've got your shredded carbon fiber titanium magna cut with an awesome, awesome hollow grind blade. Nice drop shut, flicks out. Front flipper, super easy. Tell me that is not a sweet, sweet blade right there. Scooch over, you get to live right there for now. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, someone said Spyderco. I have one of Lanyard Man's Spydercos as well, but I don't know where I set it because I'm kind of a set it and forget it kind of a guy. Anybody ever have a Ronco rotisserie? I sure did. It worked pretty good for a while. After so many hundred chickens through there, though, the rotisserie started kind of making a squeaky sound. What's up, Casey? Thanks again for subscribing. Lots of fun stuff on the channel. Lots of customizations, unboxings, good times. My most recent one from today, for those that haven't seen any of my videos, I took these two CJRB Lagos and did a little bit of a swap. Swap the pivot so that the silver one's here and the black one's here. I swapped the blades. The black one was on the red. I really like just the variety, kind of made this look cooler, I think, with the black screws, the black pocket clip, the little black on the pivot, and then that blade makes this purple one neat. And then I love red and black, but I'm not a big fan of the black blade on there. I really like the contrast. So now we've got the black liners offset and making that red look really cool. The Lago is a win. Look at this. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He actually hit the button. I'm standing funny. Look at my arm. I've got it reach out and touch. So sometimes I screw things up, but I got the old dual action. You should mod me at some point. I suppose. How I can believe what? I couldn't believe how you did the swap. So I've done a lot of button locks, and I wasn't expecting that to work at all. I was just thinking that that was going to explode and be kind of a mess. And then I got beside myself while I was doing it, and I started putting the pivot back in, and I didn't change the blades yet because I was like, oh, this might work. So I was too excited. And then I realized I was like, I just put that pivot back in. I didn't swap out the blade like I'm an idiot. It was fun, but I don't edit. I could have edited that part out. I could have edited that part out and kind of made it more seamless. But I think it's more fun to just show you guys exactly what happens when you're doing a custom. You don't know what you're going to fall into, where your head's at. You got to remember to pay attention. But in the end, I didn't have to take these apart to do that swap, which is... if I didn't know all the workings and how these button locks go together and hadn't put together several of them, I don't know if I would have made that happen because I did have it and I got it in there and then the button was stuck and I knew it was because it couldn't clear into the recessed hole on the other side. So I got kind of lucky with that. I was expecting to have to fully take them apart, but man, the Lago... What exactly do you do on this? That's so fun. Jay, you and Robo both just love to troll me a little bit, but you're trolling in a way that you don't get deleted. So there's something to say about that, right? Dude, the red one, this is it. No offense, but where did I put it? Right there. I no longer care for the purple one. I definitely prefer like a stone washed or a silver stainless kind of colored blade more than the black blades personally. And this just looks so cool. When I saw this, I was like, you know, with that red and black handle, the only thing I would change is maybe make the blade more of a brushed or stone washed or something. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have my purple custom. Do it. So ultimately, I'm probably going to sell this one off if anybody's interested. Cheaper than retail. Free custom, free dye job, and a few bucks off of whatever the retail would be for it, and I'll get rid of it. Because I don't necessarily need to, although dual wielding is nice. What's going on, Josh? 33025. Just received my fixed blade Milita today. Ooh, did you hear that, Ken Fixed? Josh has one. Kathleen likes the purple. I know Greg really likes the purple. I think the purple and the black do look really good together. But it'll become a thing where if I'm going to carry one, I'm definitely going to carry this one. I love the way this looks. Super happy about it. So it's done. Throw the black blade in a rock bath. You know, I've thought about doing that. I want to do some tumble finishes. I started doing some acid etching and things. So that would be something I want to get into. One of the recent ones I did was this Sen cut. That blade right there was the same color as the clip. Did that acid etch on there. And then the dye on the handle to give it that weathered look. Pretty fun stuff. I need to do more of that. I've got so many things that I want to get into. And I've been so busy lately that I only can do so many at once. And then I just fall behind. Thanks for subscribing, Terry. So here's another custom. This was that standard brown Kaiser micarta like this. And I dyed it to have that nice red, that maroon richness. And then did the acid etch on the blade. So it's all kind of hidden when it's closed. But then you open it, it's kind of got that great white shark kind of false hamon on there. I will be doing some more of these very soon. Just I've got lists of projects that I want to do, and never enough time. I'm working on it. What did you do to the arc blast? Oh, I don't have that arc blast anymore. Jay, you reminded me I need to buy another arc blast. I did a dye to that one. I mean, not a dye, a laser mark. Kind of in a way. I mean, this is a different laser mark. This is the CJRB Agave. Agave with an agave print on it. Jeez. So I did the laser mark on this. This was all silver aluminum handle. And I did a reverse image of an agave plant. And then laser marked it with a white setting. You can do white on titanium, or not on titanium, but I have a couple good settings for white laser mark on aluminum. And so that's this. So those tips, the tips where the silver is the actual color of what the scales used to be. And then the laser mark is all that white on there. So I did something similar to that with the arc blast, except for it was like consecutive spirals. So sort of like the dogfish, Kaiser dogfish, those spirals are actually recessed into the handle. Imagine spirals like that, but laser marked on. Actually, if you go to, you can type in Melissa Backwoods Blade Show Texas Pocket Checks 2023. And I was in line to get into Blade Show, and she pocket checked me on her video. And you can see her with that knife. But I have since sold it. Someone really wanted it. But the arc glass is great. 8CR, I think. Or is it 9CR? Either way, it's got a really nice hollow grind on the blade. It's a little bit smaller. And it has the exact kind of action as the Lago. It's like a slightly smaller Lago, except for it has thumb studs on it rather than the hole. But the action is just like this with this button. It is a great one, and they're cheap. You can get one for like 50 bucks. Do I still have the packaging from what? From the Lago? Or what? The Lago. Well, I just got this one. I just unboxed this one yesterday. So I still have all the packaging for this one. Got a QSP unicorn. I do not. QSP. I have a couple. Here we go. QSP swordfish. I know there's a swordfish from Remet, but this is the QSP swordfish. Nice action. I actually got this at Blade Show Texas last year. Boom. I think that's 14C28N micarta. Nice button lock, huge warning blade. Big old tip on there. I also have the QSP fish-eating crocodile. What's it called? Gavial. QSP Gavial. This knife is huge. Beastly, large blade. Kind of that two-tone with the black and then the brushed silver. Drops, flips out nice. It looks like a crocodile. Hence the Gavial fish-eating crocodile name. I could definitely use more QSP. I have, this is my favorite. Did you see that delayed open? QSP Penguin that I did a shipwreck on. So this was a brass handle that I force patinaed into this really, really sweet shipwreck. I love it. The penguin, you can get a base penguin for like 30 bucks. I think the copper or brass ones are about 50. D2 steel on here, I think. Yep. But nice action, good working knife. Great feel in the hand, and you can shipwreck it if you get a copper or a brass one. If you haven't seen any of my shipwreck videos, check those out. It is fun. I am fast becoming a lover of the shipwreck. This is an Osborne with a nice shipwreck to it. Quite a few QSP models come in copper and brass. I should look into maybe a couple more of them. Leafy, I need to get going on some more shipwrecks. The Gavial is sweet, bro. It's huge. I saw it at Blade Show Texas, ended up not getting it, and then bought it not too long after. They have another one that's similar. I think it's called like the Locust or something. The blade's a little different, but it's long like that. They're gnarly. I think they're fun. Not much from Tucson front. I think the only Tucson I have is this one here. Nice little Karambit. I use this one for morel hunting in the spring. It's pretty beat up. Kind of tight, but you can get that thing open. But it's gotten wet and been moved around and thrown around and beat on a little bit. It's kind of a more budget knife. It did get some use for quite a while though. QSP Grebe with the Raffer glow scales, S35VN for 100 bucks. That sounds great. Arizona's got a red one for about 32. That'd probably be that QSP Penguin. The other cheap QSP is the Parrot. I'm not as much of a fan. They're about the same price. So if you're going to get one or the other, I'd get the Penguin. Parrot, I don't like the clip that's on there. Both of the budget Penguin and Parrots that I got, if you see my unboxing videos, the action when I opened them was not very good. It's kind of stiff, but I did dye projects on both of them. They both have been sold. I no longer have them. A lot of the stuff I do for dye projects, some people are interested in, I end up selling them off. But once I did the dye and kind of put them back together, oiled them up, the action became fantastic. So you can see like on this QSP, it flies out really nice, swings shut in like one simple little swing. That is how they turn. So they were really stiff, kind of where you would swing it shut and it would just stop right there, and then you'd swing a little more and it'd stop there, and it would just kind of sit in those spots. But they broke in really nice. I'm back, start over. It's a long running joke. Think you'll get yourself a Gavial for Christmas? Check them out, dude. It is a larger knife. It is quite big. Boom. Flick out is great. You do have the flipper tab as well. But this thing is big. Let me get a measurement on here for you, just so you are aware. It is pushing, it's 9 1/4. 9 1/4 total inches with a solid 4 1/8 inch blade. So it is larger, if that's something you're interested in. But the action is nice. Flicks out, thumbs out. Feels good in the hand. If you got a bigger hand, look at that. I can kind of spread out on there, and there's plenty of handle. Don't want to play disc golf with the boys tonight, eh, Dave? Tonight's outside. West Side Wednesday. It's like, what is it, 10 degrees right now? Aren't you out there, Dave? They're at Hanson. Go hang out. I almost cut my finger off with the Penguin. LMAX super clean, laser sharp. They have an LMAX Penguin, like a premium one, huh? Unicorn looks good too. Sold you on the Gavial. Had a CRKT Jumbones, but gave it to your brother. Yep, that happens. You go through some knives. Sometimes you have some that you love. I used to carry the SOG Terminus. I carried this knife a lot. It's a good no-nonsense user. It's D2. Good action on that axis lock. I got this thing wet and beat on it and didn't really care. You can see there's a little teeny dot right there. Kind of a little bit of a deterioration from like the weathering of like getting wet and just not really giving it the care that I probably could have. But the action is nice. It swings out really good, flicks out good. Excellent feel in the hand, lots of jumps. Used to use this a lot. Collection started growing like mad, and next thing you know, I rarely pick it up anymore. How many knives do I have? Probably pushing 250. Don't know for sure. Might be a little more than that. Haven't been paying attention lately. Last time I kind of checked, that was my ballpark, but I've actually gained a few knives since then. So it's moving. I'm going to be doing, I say it, I don't know when, but I'm going to be doing a full collection review. I'll probably have to do a live and go over it, and it'll take several hours, I'm sure, because I am long-winded and slow. And but I do want to do a full collection review at some point. If you look, my shelves are pretty much full. There's a couple gaps in some spaces because I have some knives out on the table here, but I also have 20 some knives over here. I've got at least 30 right there. I've got 15 or 20 on the table over there. A bunch of giveaways and stuff over there that are going to be mailing out, some of them tomorrow. So I kind of am spread kind of wide, and the shelf is getting full. I need to make some more rows or another ledge. I'm thinking about maybe making like a little step system where it'd be like you'd be able to put like 3 knives on it, and I could put a couple of them across here, and then you could go but I don't know if I give extra layers if it's actually gonna benefit or if it's the same amount of knives, because you know, if you're 3 wide right here, well, that's 3 wide laying down. So does that really increase my display amount? Is that right? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it. Caviso's having a sale on the Penguin for $99 in S35 VN. If everyone is interested, it's a good knife. Good price for S35 VN. I have a rose pink Axis Kubey. Axis lock knives. I have a lot of them. I mean, actual Axis locks would be like the Benchmade. If that's the one that is an Axis lock. A lot of them use the clutch lock, which is Kaiser's clutch lock. This is the Lander 2 from NAFS. Great action on that. You've got the extreme version of the Axis lock on the Microtech standard issue, the MSI. What are these called again? It's got that same action, but it's huge. It's like the beefiest of the crossbar locks. I have the CJRB Prado. CJRB's been making some good crossbar style locks. The Prado is a Ray Laconico design. Really nice one right there. Let's go. Oh, another CJRB is the Hectare. Hectare is a bug out killer all day long. S90V, Ultim, nice choke up. I'll take this over a bug out all day long. That's the Hectare. Probably still my favorite knife, the Kaiser Mini Towser K with that Kaiser clutch lock. Look at that action. 154 cm and frag titanium on there. The newest CJRB Acacia. It's got that crossbar lock on there. Nice action. $30 bug out killer right here. The Acacia's got some cool texture on the handle as well. I need a Bel Air. I don't have a Bel Air. I do have the Kershaw Iridium. It's a nice knife, but it's a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. It's hard to keep that blade clean. Another one that I used to carry quite a bit is the Kershaw Heist. That's another lighter crossbar bug out killing machine for about 50 bucks. The Heist is a cool one. I do not know how much money I have. I try not to think about that, Colt. You can't. Several dollars. Several dollars. I do not have a Leatherman signal, but I can show you a buck knife. This is my favorite buck knife. Buck 119, huge hollow grind, 6-inch blade, handle as thick as a humanly possible handle could be. I love that thing. I got a couple of sweet vintage Buck 110s, 2-dot. This is a 2-dot, means it's 1974 to 1979. Buck 110, still made the same way. I got a couple other smaller bucks. I don't know where they are because I have knives laid out all over the place and it's kind of a mess. Got any cold steel? I do have a few cold steels. I have a super old cold steel. Well, not super old, but this Koboon. Kind of a katana looking cold steel. I picked this one up in probably 2006 or 7, I think. Just because it looks like a little miniature hand katana. The cold steels that I have that are decent, that I almost use for cutting boxes, this is the Thin Wolf. Thin Wolf is a very slicey, nice triad lock, but you can still flip that thing out. Scandi grind on there is super sharp. Haven't used the Thin Wolf as much because the cold steel that I do use the most is this one right here. This is the Tough Light. The shape of this one, it's got that ultra strong triad lock, nice choke up spot. So you can get in here, thumbs on those big jimps, and man, this is just, you can just push through cardboard like no other with this bad boy. Is this a repeat or live? We are live, Ralph, right now. What you're looking at is now. This is now. If you rewind, you'd be looking at now. When did now happen? Just now. I screwed that up a little bit, but I think you get the gist. You have a Kindle. I don't have a Kindle. Oh my, some lovely knives. Thank you, Moonrock. I do my best. What can we get out that we haven't pulled out in a little bit? Rose gold buoy. Boom, the Pyrite. CJRB Pyrite has so many different versions, but the rose gold buoy is the best. Tell me that's not cool. I love the shape on that blade. Someone brought up Kubey a little bit ago. These are my Kubeys over here. I love Kubeys. This is the, wow, Kubey Ruckus. Love the blade, or the handle shape on this one. Blade is also quite interesting. Wow, I suck today. Front flipper. That's the Kubey Ruckus. My favorite Kubey, though, is definitely the Titius. Boom. Kubey Titius. I've got the Ultim version right here. Great Ultim showcase piece. Look at all those ridges on there. Fantastic stuff. Flips out really well. Drop, shut. Look at this action. Boom, boom, bang. Kubey Titius. If you're looking for a little bit bigger, chunkier, beefy knife, Titius is fantastic. I love this knife. In the ship, staring at the monitor. When did then just happen? Just now. I really enjoy the Phemius. Never really carry it. I just love the look. This thing looks super wicked. The blade is just gnarly, but the tip isn't really designed for some of the kind of cuts I like to do. It's got a little more belly. If I was field dressing a deer, this might be a really good option. Really can get in there and make those sweepy kind of a cut, but the action just... What? How fun is that? Do I make knives? I don't make knives, but I make. And I might need to use this when I do. Ha! Biggest blade. Moon Rock. This is a Rough Rider Crown Stag Bowie. 10 3/4 inch blade right there. And you got that actual stag handle brass on that guard. Beast of a knife. But yeah, who doesn't love a Phemius? Oh, right? It just... For 45, 50 bucks or something like that, you get that kind of action. That's just out of control. What knife is the Persian folder, Patrick? That is the Kubey Phemius. Kubey Phemius. Not an expensive knife. This one's in D2 and G10. They do make a 14C28N version. I think it's like 40, 45 for this one, and I think it's like 60 or 65 for the 14C version. But just a cool, fun-looking knife, and that action is just so much fun. I really dig it. What's up, Louie? How you been, Louie? What is shaking? Hi, Louie. What's happening? I have a weak detent. This is the Mert, Kubey Mert. Very cool, fun-looking knife, but the detent is weak sauce. I mean, the action's fine. It does flip out, no problem. You can flick it out easy, but the detent is just so light. The second you go in there, you can just talk it. I could talk it like that. But it's cool. There is no bug out fixed blade, Ken. Bug out doesn't make a fixed blade. And I wouldn't buy a bug out fixed blade if it existed. I will tell you to get a Kaiser Milita. Kaiser Milita. All day long. Kubey Quaken. All day long. Rough Rider Bowie? Sure. Why not? Bug out fixed blade doesn't exist. And if it did, I'm not going to buy it. Bug outs are dumb. I have bug out killers all over the place. Bug out fixed blade. You know how much a bug out fixed blade would probably go for? Probably be like $300 or $400. Lame. Oh, that's hilarious. So this chat isn't moving. So that was when Ken asked about the bug out fixed blade probably a half an hour ago. And I'm replying to a chat message that's been sitting there frozen. I need to look over here at my other chat. I do not have any Stedman knives. Beyond EDC Night Horse action. Louis got a Zizit in the mail today. Blue highlights. Send me a photo of that. I want to see it. Titanium Justin's going to make one. Thank you for subscribing, Fab. Fab. Come back to Cali, bro. The surfers need you. Let's go, bro. Caught my first tube today. Got a little Kubey fixie? Which one? I got this Kubey Quake, and I really like this fixie. This is a great one. I actually have I picked up an Ulti clip, like this Ulti clip on here. I'm going to put the Ulti clip on my Kubey fixed, so I make it easier for carrying in the pocket. I have 35 knives, or maybe 40. Sweet collection. You have any K-bars? I don't have any K-bars. I need to make myself a note. That's another note. What is that K-bar folder? I need to get a K-bar fixed blade. But there is a folder, like there's a classic folder that K-bar has, right? That's a quality folder. Anybody have one of those? You have the Dust Devil that KC designed. I do not, Justin. I like KC's designs. I'm not really a fan of the way that one looks. It has more of the blade shape, kind of like on the Microjet, but it's on like a small fixed blade like this. And I don't know. Again, everybody has different tastes, and one person will love it, another person will think it's okay. I'm just not really a fan of the shape of that one. So I don't plan on picking up one. No offense to KC if he shows up or whatever. I love his knives. They're very cool. He makes some really cool stuff. But, you know, not every shape and every design is for everybody. But a lot of people do like the Dust Devil quite a bit. I've heard nothing but good things. Moonrock, I have one butterfly. I was talking about it before. I ordered my first Squid Industries trainer. I got the Mako 5. It should be here in a few days. The one I have is actually sharp. It has an edge on there, so I'm not really going to do much more than that with it. I don't really know a lot of tricks. I haven't really been huge into butterflies or balisongs, but now I've ordered that Squid Industries trainer. I'll be able to kind of mess around some more and not worry about cutting myself. If I were to try to learn some stuff on this, I would probably end up, you know, like that. So we will see. A lot of people do ask about them, so I decided to pick one up. And Uncle Ed's looking for some adoption. What's my nastiest looking knife? I like that question. Kabar Warthog. What is my nastiest looking knife? I mean, but it's such an objective, or, you know, subjective. Someone could say, oh wow, 10 3/4 inch blade, that is the nastiest looking knife. Someone else could be like, ooh, micro cleaver. Now that bad boy is nasty. Although I think if I were to choose, my nastiest looking blade would be this one right here. This is the Boker Jim Wagner reality-based fixed blade. That is, it's like, okay, this is designed for just poking and cutting. Nasty. Am I right? Like, look at this full serrate that's all curved out, and then this sharp edge with this tiny little tip. That is a nasty, nasty. Louis says pictures are on my Instagram. I cannot wait to go look. I appreciate sharing those. This one's kind of nasty. Not as realistic, but I mean, like a 3-blade knife is pretty nasty. Except for actually this is a 4-blade. So it's funky. Right? What's the name of which one again? I'm sorry, bud. I want it. Is it for sale? Oh, this one, I don't even know if you can buy this anymore. You could look it up. But I got this one probably at least 15 plus years ago. Never used it. The thing I don't like about this is the pivot. Look at that pivot. You need a specific tool to change that pivot. And then this is, it's like a back lock, right? And you can't flick this out. I've adjusted it as much as I can, and it's stiff. With this back lock on there, you're getting pressure from the lock as it opens up. See that? And so it's made to be open. It's kind of more like, you know, like something like this winter is coming, you know, so it's not really designed because it's got that half stop and you're using it, and the lock is actually kind of preventing, but you can't really flick it out, but you can roll it out. It is gnarly, but yeah, can't really sell that one. I've enjoyed it for so long. It's kind of one of the staples of the collection. So Nick, was that the one you were talking about? Yeah, that one is the Boker. I guess it's the reality-based blade. Jim Wagner reality-based blade. And then there's a number right there, 3806. So if you go Boker Plus 3806 Jim Wagner, you can see if it's still around or not. Thank you for subscribing, Sirkov. This one's kind of gnarly. I don't remember the name of this. Anybody? This is the Sencut Bront. That's what it only took me a second. The Sencut Bront front flipper. But look at that blade edge. That wicked tip. It's got a nice fuller, nice drop. Flicks out easy from Sencut. Wonder you can almost, yeah, that'll cut some hair. You can almost shave with that bad boy. Jim Wagner reality base blade. Awesome, thanks. Yeah, let me know if it's still available. I should look that up. I don't know. It's kind of one of those ones that's been around for a while, so it might not be available anymore. Oh, my friend's here. I got to roll. Thank you for hanging out. Got a few things to do. I have my normal live tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Thank you all. Have a great day.